Over the past few days, I've seen a number of statements circulating within our industry regarding NCR registrations and who may or may not legally grant credit. And quite frankly, I think it is time we have an honest conversation. Because there is this growing problem in the credit industry. Far too many people are presenting opinions as facts. Too many people are presenting interpretations as legislation. And too many entrepreneurs are accepting those opinions without ever regarding the National Credit Act for themselves. Let me be very clear. The National Credit Act is the law. Industry opinions are not. Industry notices are not. Industry commentary is not. Consultants are not. And associations are definitely not. The National Credit Act is the law. And every statement made about credit regulations should ultimately be tested against the Act itself. Not against what somebody heard, not against what somebody believes, not against what somebody repeats, against the legislation. At Quinn Pay, we are deeply concerned by the amounts of misinformation currently circulating in the market. Because misinformation has consequences. It discourages entrepreneurs, it delays business formation, it creates unnecessary fear, and it prevents people from pursuing legitimate business opportunities. I find it fascinating that many people are willing to speak with absolute confidence about legislation they have never properly studied. Some people speak as though they own that legislation. Some people speak as though their interpretation is the only interpretation that matters. And some people speak as though questioning them is just not permitted. That is not how legislation works. The National Credit Act belongs to every South African, and more so to the micro-lenders or the credit providers operating within this industry. It can be read by anyone, and it can be studied by anyone. And it should be understood by anyone seeking to participate in the credit industry. If somebody makes a legal claim, ask them to show you the legislation. If somebody says you cannot do something, ask them to show you in the legislation. If somebody says something is prohibited, ask them to show you the legislation. Not their opinions, not their interpretation, the legislation. Because legislation speaks for itself. At Quinn Pay, our position has always been simple. Read the Act. Study the Act. Understand the Act. And make decisions based on the law itself. Not on industry narratives, not on rumors, not on assumptions, and certainly not on misinformation. If your position is supported by the legislation, then show me the legislation. If your position is supported only by opinion, then let's call it for what it is, an opinion. Entrepreneurs deserve facts. Entrepreneurs deserve transparency. And entrepreneurs deserve access to accurate information before making decisions that affect their future. That is what Quinn Pay stands for. Facts, education, transparency, and the removal of misinformation from the credit industry. I want to make it abundantly clear that credit providers or entrepreneurs are legally allowed to grant a loan under the protection of the National Credit Act before you have an NCR registration completed or approved or even an NCR number. There is no legal requirement that you should have a sticker up in the window and a certificate on the wall before you even grant your first loan. It does not exist. And any association or person or entity telling you that it should be like that, it doesn't exist. They're talking nonsense.